This is a project request management site in BrightWork, and we have several requests that are out here for things to get done. And let's take a look at one of these requests right now. And as you can see there through here, there's an easy way to navigate to logging a request, viewing your requests you have, going through the review process. I'll get to ranking here in a little bit, approving the request, and then creating the project site. There are also some ways to establish the configuration elements of your request process. So I'm going to navigate to the project requests here, and I'm going to take this one right here, the Windows 10 upgrade, and let's just take a look at this one. Now, in this particular example, what we did for this client was to build a form so that they could manage their process, and their process was a bit more mature and more well-defined, in the case that they wanted basic information. Then they wanted the elements that they would need for a business case, and later on, as it moves through the approval process, this actually generates a document that to go along with the request, the business case. They also had project charter information that they want. Let's look at the business case first here. They needed the executive sponsor, who is involved, who's the customer, an executive summary of what this is all about, why we need this, and what's the justification. If there are any high-level milestones and objectives, they would list them here. The approach, any initial dates for the phases of the project that they were expecting, things like that. That all supported the business case. And then the project charter, introduction, overview, and problem statement. Again, once this information was filled in and the project was approved, this actually generated a charter document for them. And then we got to the strategic alignment, and this is where they really married their process to the governance and the strategic goals of the organization. They had 5 key strategic areas they wanted to ensure that all their projects would align to. And how well did they align to them? Or they didn't want to do them at all if they didn't align. So they were improved on their KPIs, and they understood what that meant, and they had a scoring or a grading scale of 0, 1, 5, and 9 for each of these. And this produced a score that was weighted. Some of these are more important than the others. And then there was an overall score given to the project, which we'll see in a moment. So improved KPIs, external customer service was kind of low in that, but it was very high in internal customer service for this particular project, efficiencies, and employability. So this was able to produce a score, and then they would move on to who was going to request this, who was approving it, reviewing it, who approved it, was there executive sponsorship approval, when did that happen, business owners, did they review and approve it? So all of that information is gathered and collected here. That produced the overall set. So now that we've got that, we have several of these that have moved through the process from draft to review to now they're ready to be decided on, or ranked and decided on. So now I'm going to go to the ranking of the requests, and we'll see here that here's that overall project score I was talking about based on the inputs of each of the strategic objectives. And we can see that they all get a score, and here the icon project here seems to have the highest score. And so as we look at all the competing projects that need our resources and need to be done, what's the priority on these? Well, this one at the bottom, which has the highest score, ought to be done first, so it should have the highest priority. So I'm just going to click and drag that up here. Looks like SSO improvements next, and so on. So I can move these through, and now they're aligned and organized in their proper priority order. So if we are going to approve all these, we know that the projects we need to do first are the ones that are giving us the most value based on our strategic objectives.